Well, g'day curd nerds. G'day curd nerds. Well, 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 g'day curd nerds. Welcome to Ask the Cheeseman. This episode 240. Thank you all the curd nerds for joining me today. It's absolutely fantastic as always to see so many people in the chat. It's very exciting. I'm excited because I've got a few things to share with you today, which I've been working on. Well, yeah, I have. I've been working on for quite a while. But more of that a little bit later on in the show. For those who don't know, I'm Gavin Weber. I'm the host of the show and the chief curd nerd, and I will attempt to answer any of your home cheese making questions. Yes, as Anthony has rightly stated, we're up to 305,000 today, which is cool because once again the good old meme did its trick, went around Reddit, and I had a big huge amount of views on, what was it, Tuesday for some reason, and a whole bunch of people subscribed, which is very cool. Thank you to everybody who found me via that Reddit post. And for some reason, instead of going to find the Parmesan video, which they normally do after they see that meme, they all went to the cease and desist video because somebody put a link in there and told them there was something interesting about Big Parma or something. So yeah, that was all pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, so that's why it's now at 305 and rapidly climbing towards 306,000, which I'm very proud of, by the way. So, yeah, let's move along, shall we? Big thank you to all of the YouTube members and patrons. There's the list, and of note this week, Frederick Peterson. Thank you, Frederick, for signing up this week and renewing your membership. So that's absolutely fantastic. We've also got a whole bunch of patrons as well. So thank you to all the patrons there. And a special note this week, Matt Ryan. Thank you, Matt, for your patronage over on Patreon. So very cool indeed. Without your patronage or memberships, the show and financial support. I'm stumbling here. I don't know why I'm stumbling. Without your financial support, the show, I wouldn't be able to do a 2-weekly show and put all the videos up that I have been. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Videos coming up. So this weekend, I'm filming a video called 5 Cheese Balls. That's the working title at the moment. So Kim has found me 5 cheese balls, 5 recipes for 5 cheese balls. So for those who don't know what a cheese ball is, basically it's a ball of cream cheese that has a bunch of ingredients mixed into it, and then it's usually coated in something, which is cool. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my my French cream cheese recipe, which I found to be the most delicious cream cheese that I've ever tasted in my life, and I'll be using French cream cheese to make the cheese balls. So, and mixing all the other bits. So look for it soon. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but 5 Cheese Balls is the working title. Now, just before the show, I was also working on the Gavin Reacts to Your Cheese Photos number 2. So that'll be out in the next couple of days after I share it with all of the YouTube members and all of the patrons. So they get first dibs and get early access to the videos at least 24 hours before I release it to the public. So that's one of the perks for the financial members. It's not time, but let's say hello. Let's say hello to lots of people. First cab off the rank, I think, was, where are we? Shauna, I think. Hello, Shauna. Thank you for joining us in Tassie there. Hope it's okay. Habib in Lebanon. G'day, Habib. Lovely to see you, mate. Alex. Hello, Alex. Lovely. Thank you for joining the show. Katarina. G'day. How are you? Love to see you, of course. Michael in Adelaide. Cool Cat in the UK. How are you? Spice Packs. Herefordshire. I think that's how you say it. In the UK, of course. Lovely to see you. Anthony. Oh, I tell you what, this is dedication. G'day and greetings from the time machine. It's 4 a.m. here in St. Pete, Florida. I needed my midweek cheese session enough to set an alarm. Goodness me. Don't tell me you got up just for this show. That is pure curd nerd dedication there, Anthony. I love it. I love it. So good. Alrighty. Who else we got? We got H7 Apollo. Says yes, 306,000 subs is quite the accomplishment. It is, as far as I can tell, for a cheese channel. You know, there are lots of cheese channels out there. Well, I can count at least probably six dedicated ones, maybe, now. But yeah, I think this one is, we have an immense community, which is fantastic, and you can only see that really when you look at the chat and the amount of people we get to the live streams. So that's all very cool. So thanks, H7 Apollo. Who else we got? Did I see Emily there? Hello, Emily. How are you? Love to see you. Now, last week you said something about Mochi Bun made of cheese. Are you and Mochi Bun related? Mochi Bun's somebody else who frequents the show that I haven't seen for a couple of weeks. But are you? I don't know. I'm just going out there on a limb. Are you guys related in any way? Just thought I'd throw that in there. And while we're waiting for Emily to reply, of course, she has another question. Have I ever tried fondue? If so, did you like it? Was it hard to do at home? Emily, I went back when I was a young lad, back in 1987 or 86, could have been 85, a long time ago. I went to Switzerland. I went on a European vacation tour, a Kentucky tour. I don't know if Kentucky still exists, but it was an 18 to 35-year-old bus tour thing. I went with my ex-wife, and we had a great time. Yeah, it was fondue in Switzerland, made from Gruyere and Emmentaler, and some lovely white wine. What was the white wine? Gewürztraminer, something like that. So yeah, very cool. It was absolutely delicious. And what did we dip in? Bits of crusty bread, if I remember rightly. And it was absolutely delicious. I think it's very simple to make. I actually have a fondue set. So let me break out the fondue set, film a fondue, fondue set. Yeah, let's do that. It's in the cupboard. It's brand new. It's still in the box. I bought it for a video, God knows how long ago. But yeah, why not? Why not? Fondue, nice. Anthony says, is it Gewürztraminer? It's probably the wine. Yes, I think it was, mate. That rings a bell. Emily confirms that Mochi Bun is your wife. Very nice. Thank you, Emily. Katarina says, hi Gav, I watched your 6 cheeses you should make in 2020. Hang on. There's something I need. What I always need these Wednesday nights. Oh, lovely. Bland. It's not bland, it's yummy. Alright, Katarina says, hi Gavin, I watched your 6 cheeses you should make in 2020 recently. Do you have any plans to do another such video? Why not? Why not? What is it? We're near the end of 2022, so let's do it in early 23, shall we? early 2023. Let's do 5 to 6 cheeses. Yeah, why not? Because I've got so many cheeses under my belt, I should share the ones that I have really enjoyed. Not only the flavour, I enjoy the flavour of all the cheeses, but the flavour of the unique flavours of some of the different cheeses. So yeah, that's very cool. Okay, thanks Katerina for that little tip there. Tip or yeah, that'll do. Alrighty, so big announcement time. Is it time? Yes. Now, over the last few days, I've been working on the print version of my second book, which is Keep Calm and Make More Cheese. So you would have seen Keep Calm and Make Cheese, which is it's in ebook format, and on our website there's a spiral bound version. Sorry about all the reflections, but it's got a protective cover. So spiral bound and filled with recipes, and for those who, where is it? So in each recipe there is a QR code. Well, I've got my fingers on it. No, that side, this side. So there's a QR code. Right. Is it going to focus? In each recipe. So this is in the original book. So we've got QR codes. So they're links to all of the videos that relate to that recipe. So if it's, say, for instance, this one's a Monterey Jack, I've got the QR code for the Monterey Jack video and subsequent taste test as well. Same as, you know, every other recipe in this book has a QR code. So this is available at Little Green Workshops already, and it has been for many, many years. However, look at this beast. This is Keep Calm and Make More Cheese. More recipes from the Cheeseman, Gavin Weber. That's me, if you haven't already figured it out. So this this is 227 pages. Look how thick that is. That's massive. And again, of course, I have put in QR codes for each of the different videos and stuff that are in the book. So, you know, it's very hard to put links to anything on the internet in a paper book. So that's what I've done. So, yeah, thick indeed. Thanks, Cool Cat. So this is the spiral bound version. What I'll do, and what I've done also, is I've created a product that has both in it. So a bundle, basically, with a 10% discount on the overall price. Sorry if I sound like I'm a bit salesy today, but I'm quite proud of that achievement. It took a lot of time to do. I've got some links that I'll share with you. Here we go, I'll put them in the chat. So the new book, you can find that at this link here in the chat. And the bundle, if you haven't got the first one and you want to get it at a discount and get the second one, here's the link for the bundle. I've been printing like mad today, and I've made swags of them. Yeah, perfect for Christmas, Kiki, indeed. Yeah, that's exactly right. So if you have a loved one who loves the cheese, then yeah, you couldn't do any better than get a gift like that. And if you want it signed, here's another one. I'll do it for free, no problems whatsoever. So just leave a note in the checkout page. There's a little notes section, and say, please sign it and put this little message in or whatever, and I'll pop it in there. No problems at all, and ship it out to you. We ship to most of the countries in Asia, North America, Australia, New Zealand, and that's about it at the moment. Oh, and Norway, of all places, because it's non-EU. So Anyway, thank you so much for listening to my little spiel there. Yeah, hope you, if you haven't already got a copy, then you can get yourself a bound copy, which is, you know, people like that tactile feel. Ebooks are all well and good. A lot of people just buy them, download them, and print them anyway. So I've gone to the trouble of doing that for you in nice binding. Anyway, Michael's got a question. Says, hi Gavin, I have an Alpine Mead wash cheese which has been in the cheese cave from the 11th of September. It's going great. How much longer should I keep washing it? When it's ready and taste test, then vac seal. Right. So how long did I wash mine for? I think it was about, what is it now? 2 months. Yeah, hey, yeah, 2 months is up. So, yeah, I did wash it for about 2 months, Michael, and then vacuum packed it, and then I think it was another month. It's only about 3 months old, the cheese was, when I tasted it, so you can go and check that out. Yeah, so I'd stop washing now, let it air dry a little bit, don't let it crack, of course. If it's got a bit of colour to it, it should have a bit of colour to it on the outside. That's one of the reasons we wash it, also a little bit of flavour, of course. But as long as it's got a bit of colour on it, then yeah, you could vacuum pack it now if you wanted to, and then taste it, or you could keep it in the ripening box and keep the mould off it with and wash it a little bit longer. It doesn't matter how long you wash it for, but I wouldn't age it any longer than say 4 to 5 months, I don't think, and that should be spot on, basically, and have a lovely flavoured cheese. Hope that helped, mate. Okay. One of the other things I had to share, and I'll share it now, I think we've got enough time before the gallery, is that I've got a giveaway. So I found 2 brand new t-shirts that I bought that I didn't need. So, just show. So, old wine, old cheese, and old friends make great company. I've got 2 of these, one in blue, navy, and one in, what's this, gunmetal grey. Gunmetal grey, yeah, something like that. Anyway, so brand new, never been worn. They're size 3XL, they're certainly too large for me. I don't know how I managed to misorder that. But the link to the competition, where did I put it? Here we go. So it's the t-shirt giveaway, and I'm using an app called King Sumo, and you can go in there. I will advertise this broadly on the channel in the next couple of days, but and I think it starts at 30 minutes in 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes you'll be able to go in there, sign up, and enter the competition, so you shouldn't have any troubles with that. So yeah, so if you want to win those 2 t-shirts, we'll ship anywhere in the world. Because they're a gift and not a product, there are no tax implications, sales tax implications for me sending them to anywhere in the world. So if you are up for a t-shirt, go and check out that link that I put into the chat just then, and you can enter your the competition to get a free t-shirt. So give it a go. Kim's been on at me for weeks to get rid of them. Not that they're bad or anything, it's just that they're just sitting around the house. So we'll do that. Right, we have a question from Demarchin, I think that's how you say it. Says, hey, what's your favourite cheese to eat? Probably a tough question. And what's your favourite cheese to make? An equally tough question. So, standard answer to what's my favourite cheese to eat is all the cheeses. I love them all. So, certain ones, look, I can't pick a single cheese that's my favourite. Some that are my favourite to make, even though Kim would disagree, would be the washed rind cheeses. I find that the the making's easy, right, for a washed rind cheese. It's the affinage part, the attention to detail that you need when you're making a washed rind cheese using Brevibacterial linens as a wash and then a simple brine solution after that, and smearing that bacteria all over the outside to get an even ripening paste on the inside. It's just so delicious. They're some of my favourite ones to make. However, they do smell like old socks. And if you don't aerate the ripening box at least on a weekly basis, your cheese fridge is going to stink to high heaven. Like, I mean, stink. So, you just be careful. It needs to be aerated at least once a week, and then, yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, thanks, Damarchin, for your question. Lovely. Question from Shauna says, what are your thoughts on sugar in cheese? I'm making Mary Beth Bullington's orange walnut cheese tomorrow, and it says add sugar to the orange rind. It's based on Caerphilly. Look, I think, Shauna, as Caerphilly's a very quick ripening cheese, I don't think you're going to have too many problems. If you put sugar in longer aged cheese, there's a chance it'll ferment and give you off flavours, and you don't really want that, do you? And that'll change the profile of the cheese. So because this is a very a quick cheese, then I couldn't see there being any issues whatsoever. So yeah, it sounds very interesting. Send some photos once you've made it, and then again when you taste it. That'll be excellent to have a look at. Thanks, Shauna. Next question or statement is from Cool Cat. Says, all the cheeses is my absolute favourite too. But okay, soft blue cheese is where my heart is. Yeah. What would I lean to as far as if there are only a few cheeses that I would... What would I eat? You know, some of my... I'll bend Gav's rule of all the cheeses is my favourite. They are, right? There's not a cheese... I haven't met a cheese that I haven't liked except processed cheese. Some of my absolute favourites that I've made recently are, well, definitely the smoky paprika Caerphilly. That was a hit. That was gone in my belly and the family and friends. That was gone within about 2 weeks, tops, after it was mature. So it is no longer. The cheese is gone. I didn't even save any bits of it. It was just delicious. So that was a really tasty cheese. Another one that comes to mind, just straight to the forefront of my mind, is the petite chili brie that I made. I based it off there's a unicorn brand here in Australia. I think they're made in Shoalhaven in New South Wales. And they make this cheese called chili brie. Anyway, so I based it off of that recipe, used my stabilised paste, mould ripened cheese recipe that I sourced from... Where did I source it from? This book by Giannicholas Caldwell, Mastering Artisan Cheese Making. She's got a lot of recipes in here, and don't mind the pepper pig. Don't worry about that. That's just where I'm up to. She's got a lot of great recipes in here that are general recipes that you as the artisan cheesemaker can tweak into anything you want. So that's why I used that stabilised paste recipe and made it my own by adding, you know, the chilies and all that sort of stuff. So it was delightful. And another one that always sticks in my mind when I made it was Tilsit, which is a German washed rind cheese. So it's got, you know, it's orange, but it's made with thermophilic starter culture. So the paste is more stable and dense. However, as I was washing it every week, and it started to flatten because it was going so soft. The paste didn't compromise; it stayed intact. It was absolutely lovely. There was a little bit of a geotrichum bloom on the outside of that cheese, which they're known for. But you know, as I kept washing it every week, it turned from white to basically an orangey sort of colour. And the flavour inside, oh my goodness, was absolutely fantastic. It just happens to be that was my very first washed rind cheese that I ever made. So Tilsit sticks out in my memory as some of the most lovely cheeses, washed rind cheeses I've ever had. So there you go. If you really want me to say which ones that have been my favourites lately, those three: Tilsit, the Petite Chili Brie, and the Smoky Paprika Kefili. They were absolutely lovely. Anthony's got a question and says, have you ever used kefir as a culture for cheese? I was talking to somebody who said that active kefir has all of the lactic bacteria that you need to culture. It does. Do I have the book? No. Not here. They're all falling down now. So there's a good book by... I saw his face today. He looks like Super Mario. What was his name? He runs the Black School of Sheep Making. Cheese making. The Black Sheep School of Cheese Making. It's called The Art of Natural Cheese. And David Asher. That's his name, David Asher. So, yes, he exclusively uses kefir grains, milk kefir grains, to culture his cheeses. And that includes, there are not only some Streptococcus thermophilus, but there's also some Geo in kefir grains, and it also has some of the Lactobacillus lactis strains in it as well. So it's a good all-rounder. So yeah, it is a decent sort of book, and it does describe everything, how you do it naturally using kefir grains as your lactic bacteria. So Anthony, go and check that out. I do have an affiliate link, I think, down in the description of this video. Should be there somewhere. It says Gavin's Amazon store. I think I've got a link to the book in there somewhere if you wanted to purchase it that way. And a little bit of the commission goes to us. Okay. Katarina says, note to me, put Tilsit on the to-do list. It is well worth it. It takes a little bit of time to do, Katarina, but it's really nice. Delicious. Kevin says hello to all. Hello, Kevin. Alrighty, so it's time for the gallery, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can do this without mucking up. Before I do the gallery, now there's 3 minutes to go. I've got a treat. For those who haven't grabbed a membership, I'm going to throw some into the chat in a second. And you've got to be pretty quick to pick them up. Apparently there's a little button that says, will you accept gifts or something? Maybe it's up in the top right-hand corner, those 3 dots at the moment. You may have to go and select that if you're going to select gifts. But I'm going to throw them into the chat now. So there's 5 free memberships for anybody who wants to pick them up. So be quick. And then yeah, we will... Shauna picked one up. Lovely. Thank you, Shauna. Well done. Jeanette. Troy. G'day, Troy. And Manel. Manel, you're lurking in the background. I haven't heard from you for a while, mate. And Emily picked up a membership as well. Congratulations to all those people who picked up a membership. Yeah, you get early access. You get a little icon next to your name now. A little, in the chat, a little cheesy icon. And if you renew your membership yourself, the icon changes over the months and years as you stay with the channel. But yeah, early access, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff as well. You've been just gifted the Young membership, which is the 2nd tier, which gets early access to all of the videos. Anyway, let's move along and get the gallery going. I've got a few interesting cheeses and a bit of information today, so let's bring that up. Gallery. Okay, so in the gallery today, this first one's from Habib, who's watching. And Habib said to me, he sent this this afternoon. He said, Dear Gavin, yesterday... Oh, that's the alarm for the gallery. Stop that. He said, yesterday I was making my Comté style cheese following Giannis Caldwell's recipe. I was surprised that there was no time for culturing the milk. It is a thermophilic with a scant of Lactobacillus lactis helveticus. Comte, I don't think it has a ripening period, so doesn't need a lot of acid development, and it's not a very acidic cheese, so that's okay. But the dilemma Habib has was, at the 35-minute mark, I had a clean cut on the curd, so I continued as instructed, and the first cut was about 6 millimeters, and then after healing, it went down to 3 millimeters using a whisk. The whey was kind of milky, not really clear, and the curds were, but the curds were okay. While stirring and cooking, I was surprised to find that the curds were always floating on the top and not sinking to the bottom. As the temperature went up, they started matting around the top and not the other way around, as if gravity was inverted. The picture is attached, the first one at 40 degrees Celsius and the second one at 45. It's the second one, yeah, they are floating on top. Okay. So after reaching 49 Celsius, I left them 5 minutes to rest, and of course all the cheese curds started knitting together on the top. I had a hard time draining them, and then the cheese formed well in the press, but it did not drain well, and was always milky, drained with milky whey. What do you think went wrong? I used 1 tablet of rennet for 18.6 litres of milk, which I always use and is always a good dose. Did I cut too early? Does the fact that no time is given for the culture before adding rennet lead to a weak curd? Now the cheese is in the brine, but it is soft and compressible, even with the slightest pressure, and the brine is turning milky. Should I throw it? If not, can I eat it as a white cheese, perhaps on a pizza? So I have discussed this with Habib via email just quickly, saying that it is probably contaminated with coliform. He said he used raw milk, but he pasteurized it. I think it was infected anyway. One thing to check, because curds don't float. They don't normally float, especially when using cow's milk or goat's milk. So an issue with the curds floating would be that it is infected with coliform bacteria, and this bacteria creates hydrogen gas, and it turns the curd into basically a sponge. It looks like a sponge. Now, I dare say if Habib cut this open now, it would be heaps of little air pockets, little tiny sponge-like holes all the way through the cheese. And this is the only reason I can think that curds would float, especially in the manner he's talking about, and that the cheese now is still spongy. He says it feels spongy. So, yeah, definitely, I would not eat it. I would throw it away, unfortunately, mate. So if that's your normal source of milk, then yeah, I would pasteurize it. Low temperature long hold a little bit longer next time to kill off any of that coliform. It's also known to happen when the animal has mastitis, which is an infection, a teat infection. This can also happen, same thing. So mastitis or coliform is probably the more expected issue with that. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, I would throw it out. It does. There is a toxin that's associated with coliform. So yeah, don't. It will make you sick. It won't make you. You know, it'll give you an upset stomach. But yeah, don't eat it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even give it to my animals. So unfortunately. Okay, next one is from Neil, and Neil sent these in early on the week. Neil says, "Hi Gavin, I have a few photos for the gallery. The first 3 are a parmesan I made in April, so it's about 7 months old. It turned out fantastic. Tastes and smells incredible, but the texture is a bit soft compared to real parmesan. It's probably due to its young age. We vacuum packed most of it for more aging, but I definitely need to get another one of these going. The last photo is All right, we'll look at the Parmesan first. So this looks pretty good. It looks fairly dried out, which is great. It looks like he's got rid of some mold growth, which is, as you should. Yeah, it could be a little bit drier, a little bit grainier, but look, that looks pretty good, I bet. And like you said, the texture, a little bit soft, but the taste and smell is incredible. When you're grating, it's going to be perfect anyway. And as you saw there, look at that. That looks some fine Parmesan grated on some pasta. It looks absolutely fantastic. Well done, mate. Now, you've got another photo here. This is, the last photo is a couple of petite chili bries that have been in the ripening box for about a week to develop mold. Hopefully they'll be ready to eat about Christmas time. Thanks for all your insights and all you do to help us home cheesemakers. No problems at all, Neil. They look pretty good. I think the mold, you'll get a little bit more mold covering, I think. Probably not too much more, but you'll certainly get a bit more. Yeah, once they've got a total covering, or you think that's as much is as going to grow, then yeah, wrap them and mature them for the last couple of weeks, and you'll get some fantastic petite chili bries. The next one is from Ruth. Now, I'm not sure if Ruth, being in San Francisco, it's probably like 2 in the morning or something. So she may not get to see this, but I know she's not live. But thank you, Ruth, for sending this in. I'll probably show this one again. I'll show this one again on Saturday. So Ruth says, "Hi Gavin, I got this recipe off New England cheese making site. It's called Mary Beth's Holiday Cheese. I should have chopped the nuts more, as I'm sure it will crumble. Oh well, next time." So you can see a massive big cheese. Looks lovely. Looks like it's a combination of different cheese pastes. So she's got some that's been coloured with a natto. She's got pistachios there too, but I don't know what else in there. I'll have to go and have a look at that recipe. But that says 4.4 kilograms. So she's used a heck of a lot of milk there to make this cheese. It does look lovely. The addition of the pistachios with the purple and the green nut, it really never ceases to please visually, that's for sure. But I think maybe you should have chopped them up a little bit. But it does look a bit chunky. So I hope you vac packed it or waxed it, because I think this is going to be very susceptible to mold growth otherwise, because of all those cracks and crevices, and not a consolidated rind is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that's it for the gallery. Thank you to Neil, Ruth, and Habib for sending in those photos today and sharing them with us all. As always, I will show you how we send Gav photos. Here we go. So you go to the channel, as always, and you go to the About tab. It's just over here. And down here, it says Details for Business Inquiries, and you click on that to view the email address. And that's the email address, the only email address that I check for cheese photos. So if you're going to send any, please send them there. If you've got any questions and photos about something that's gone wrong, like Habib did today, quite happy to answer those during the show. I won't send dedicated emails because I get literally dozens of emails every week for people asking me to solve their cheese problems. I'll do it during the show, no problems whatsoever. So make sure if you've got some issues, attach some photos and then tune in, because that's where I'll be sharing them with everybody. Unfortunately, you know, I've got a small business to run as well, so it's difficult to answer everybody's questions personally without, you know, doing them on the show. So I hope you understand. Okay, so right. So what else? What else have I got? You've got some more questions, which is fantastic. Let's do that. Okay. Mochi Bun. Oh, lovely to see you. Hey Gavin, if I wanted to make a brie, could I adjust just adjust the double cream recipe by using half the cream? If I wanted triple, would I add an extra half? Or if... sorry, hang on. Or do I adjust the fat... Oh, hang on, I'll start again. Different question, but kind of better. Hey Gavin, if I wanted to make brie, how would I better adjust the double brie? Do I use half the cream to make normal brie? Yes, that's what I would do. And follow the recipe along. Or should I adjust the milk fat levels to 50%? Does the milk need to be adjusted from the 3 to 4 litres? No, leave the milk the same. Just adjust the fat level by reducing the amount of cream. If you want to make triple, then of course just add another 50% to the double brie recipe, and you'll get something like Brillat Savarin, which is a triple cream cheese and absolutely delicious. Okay. Alrighty. Very nice. Oh, I see. Take me down to the Parmesan City where the grass is green and the cows are pretty. Nice one. That's a reference to there's a Guns N' Roses. Take me down to Panama City. Is that it? I can't remember. But yeah, very, very, very witty. Both of you. Stop it. Kevin says, my favourite cheese is Havarti. Havarti is a nice cheese. Don't get me wrong. It's delicious. I do like it a lot. But it's not... it's I'm not going to say it's not my favourite, because they're all my favourite. Stop it. Stop trying to put words in my mouth. Havarti is delicious cheese. It's subtle. I do tend to like some that are stronger, but Havarti is lovely on a cheese plate with other cheeses. You know, it kind of balances it. Rightio. Yes, H7 Apollo says, yes, it's Guns N' Roses, Paradise City. Right, Panama's by Van Halen. How could I get those wrong? Possibly. It's in my era, for goodness sake. Kevin, different Kevin, says hello from the UK. Hello, Kevin. Lovely to see you, mate. And Shauna says, Havarti is my nemesis. I've tried to make it at least 3 times for 3 fails. My chickens love it, though. My chicken loves some of my failed ones too. So, yes, Shauna, it is a delicate little beast, and it really does need kid gloves. And I've noticed when I made it, I actually vacuum packed it, and I don't think I should have, because it flattens because it's so soft. Waxing is probably the go for that cheese. If I made it again, I would definitely wax that cheese, not vacuum pack it, because the difference in atmospheric pressure tended to flatten the cheese too much. It is a very soft cheese, though. But yes, interesting to know, Shauna. Hopefully one day it won't be your nemesis. Mick says, hello from Austria. Well, hello from Australia, Mick. A lot of people get those two countries confused. One's landlocked and one's surrounded by sea, but I never get them confused, personally. I've been to Austria. Lovely place. Lots of mountains. And nice people, too. Anthony says, Charus, I think that's how you say it. Charus? Yes. I've tried twice from a book by Margaret Peters, and both times it started smelling strange enough to toss with mould spots. I don't know if I've got a recipe for that. I have I made it? I don't know. Yeah, I'll have a look. I'm sure I've got a recipe somewhere. I'm sure I can make it. I don't think it's a very hard cheese. Alright, it's on the list. Hey, 7 Apollo says, any cheesy jokes today? Yes, of course. What time is it? We've got 15 minutes to go. You may have heard them before. I know a lot of you are regulars. So, I think I've been around the clock with the pack. There's only 100 jokes. Oh, there we go. There's only 100 jokes in there. So you may have heard them already. Anyway, joke number 1. What kind of cheese does Medusa eat? And Medusa, right, I won't explain it. Gorgonzola. Right. Medusa is that lady who, in Greek mythology, had lots of snakes in her hair. And there was another mythical creature called the Gorgon. So, put 2 and 2 together. Right. Why can't Swiss cheese be part of a fat-free diet? Because it's made of whole milk. Personally, I don't get this joke. I know that Swiss cheese, or Swiss cheese in the US, what they call Swiss cheese, is the same as Emmentaler, but they can't call it that. So it's made with holes, you know, eyes. It's getting late in the night. Right, the next... right... Rightio, this one, well, I think it's funny anyway. Why was the cheese depressed? Because it was blue. Rightio. Yep. Because it was blue. Alrighty, last joke, and then we'll get to some more questions. A cheese sandwich walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, sir, we don't serve food here." Right. Come on, focus. Get my head out the way. Rightio. Goodness me. Or do we do another one? No, that's it. That's it. That's the corniest jokes for the day. Thank you, everybody, for the corny jokes. Mick says, the more fat in the milk, the smaller the curd needs to be cut. I don't necessarily agree. Because if you have a look at hard Italian cheeses, they have a very small curd, and a lot of the hard Italian cheese are actually fat reduced. They're semi-skimmed. So, not necessarily quite correct. Cool Cat says yes, Austria. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. Medusa was a Gorgon, one of the 3 sisters. There you go. I get my mythology all mixed up. Yeah. With Austria, maybe it's throw another strudel on the something. I'm not even going to go there. Very cool. Thank you, Freaks CSS, for subscribing to the channel. Now, LP has a comment. Says, there's an awesome local cheese here called Remaker, a raw milk Howder-like cheese. If I ask them for the recipe and method and get it, can I send it to you? Of course you can. I don't know if they'll actually give it to you. But even if it's a scaled up recipe, I can scale it down, I think, for the home cheese maker, or give it a go. Yes, LP, I'd happily. If you do get a copy of the recipe, send it to that email address that I showed before. So that'd be cool. Kevin says, is there a cheese made with mare's milk from a horse? Yes, the Mongols make a sort of yogurt cheese from mare's milk. I cannot remember what it's called, but yes, they do. But there is a very expensive cheese made from donkey's milk, and it's called Pule, Pule, and it's the most expensive milk. It's one of the most expensive cheeses in the world, besides reindeer milk cheese, which I can't remember the name of that either. So, here we go. So, Demarchin says it's called Irag, something like that, in Mongolia. There you go. So, mare's milk. So, it was correct. So yeah, so Pool, a Pule, is a donkey's milk. It's very expensive. And then there's reindeer's milk, which is milk cheese, which is very expensive. And they actually make Lipa Justo, which is the fried cheese, which is amazing with cloud berry jam. So Lipa Justo is often a mixture of cow's milk and reindeer's milk, or really high up in Finland, it's just pure reindeer's milk. So yeah, very cool. All right, there we go. What time is it? And we got 10 minutes to go. Unless anybody's got any more questions, we might call it a night. I'm getting a little tired, as you probably noticed. Maybe more coffee. One thing I haven't seen go off is the Curd Nerd light. No obligation whatsoever, but there we go. Just because we can do it. And for those who don't know, you can set the Curd Nerd light off if you did a super chat, and it automatically turns on. And I don't make it happen; it just does it, which is very cool. But there you go. There's a flash of the Curd Nerd light for you. So I'm going to call it a night. Actually, I don't have anything else to talk about. So don't forget the book print versions. I'm going to put links to those and share them on the community tab of the channel as well. I'm also going to send an email out to my email list for anybody who signed up at littlegreenworkshops.com.au or littlegreencheese.com. I will be sending out an email to everybody with links to those books if you wanted to purchase them. And don't forget the free t-shirt giveaway. 2 t-shirts to give away. Ship anywhere in the world if my shipping company lets me. There are some that have been banned by the UN, unfortunately. Yeah, so very cool. And we do have our first super chat for the night. And there we go. Look, automatic. I didn't do that. And it's from Kiki. Thank you, Kiki. I appreciate it. Really do. It wasn't a plug to do it, but yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the $2 thrown my way. That's fantastic. Anyway, so like I said, I'll be doing separate posts and emails and stuff to whoever subscribes to my email lists about those t-shirt giveaways and the spiral bound, these ones. Ugh. The spiral bound books that I have. Keep Calm and Make Cheese was the first one I wrote. It's got 27 recipes, and Keep Calm and Make More Cheese has got about 72, I think, recipes, all with links via QR code to the videos on the channel, of course, which is a great addition. You know, you don't get that in any other cheese making books. Just blow my own trumpet there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Curd Nerds, thank you so much for watching tonight. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next Sunday my time if you want to join me. I think the times are pretty good throughout the world for the Sunday show, but I'll see you next Sunday, and if Wednesday nights, whatever. Anyway, thanks, Curd Nerds, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.